All right, we are back on YouTube as well. What's going on, guys? We just finished Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 5. That was by far, that was probably one of my favorite episodes of the Disney Plus series. All of them. I think that not only did it explore grounds that haven't been explored in the MCU yet, with the racism and things that go beyond the normal very cookie cutter MCU.
Right.
I do think that this series we thought it was kind of going to be more of what we already knew, but I do think that they're testing different lines here, and I'm really glad that they are.
Oh yeah. So we saw a new character introduced tonight, Valentina, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus too. She is from the comics, and she shows up in Secret Invasion,
which is happening Disney Plus. So
right. So we'll probably get to see more of her character. She works for S.H.I.E.L.D. in the comics. Okay. Obviously, here it's looking like she might be trying to help John Walker in some way.
Yeah, I would assume that she's trying to help him, but still get a lot out of it. There's definitely, it's got to be selfish. Just the way she looks and sounds and how she came off, I can't assume that she's a good guy.
Right.
But I mean, so what would you rate this episode at?
I agree. I think this was their strongest episode for sure. This was the best. I mean, that opening, you can't. That was a great
beast opening.
And even in that whole thing with Isaiah was so deep, so much character development. I mean, this was the best. This was the best episode by far, which makes me wonder, like, how's the finale gonna top this? So we'll see. I think even the producer came out this week and was like, "Yeah, episode 5 is our strongest episode." So, So we'll see what that says.
Yeah. The penultimate typically is the episode where you get, like, not the most content, but you get, all the stories just kind of converge into one. Right. You get. We didn't really get a lot of action this episode, but we did.
Besides the beginning, yeah.
Besides the beginning, we didn't get too much action. We got a couple training montages. We got a couple, but the dialogue was really heavy, and I think it was needed because people. A lot of character work. Yeah, people were not asking, but I mean, if you start introducing the race stuff, you can't just leave that, like, right. You can't just bring it up, and you can't move past it. You gotta address it at one point and kind of fill in the gaps, right? And they definitely did that here. So they took this episode and they really fleshed out, motivations, vindications.
A lot of good stuff with Bucky. Bucky there, and even Zemo, they pulls the trigger with no bullets, and let the Wakandans deal with you.
Yeah, because I mean, listen, I'm probably gonna give this like an 8.9 out of 10. I thought it was really well done, and I really did enjoy the story arcs where each character has come from. Well, started from the beginning and came to now in such a short time. It's 5 episodes, right? So roughly, probably a little less than 5 hours of content time, and we've seen characters get a lot of building and a lot of change in them, especially Sam. So I really like that, he's kind of coming to his own, and I think that goes back to what we were saying before, is Sam will come out of this as Captain America.
Yeah.
Against recommendation from Isaiah, right? Right. Isaiah says something that really resonates with Sam in the sense that he's like, no self-respecting black man would be Captain America.
Right.
And I feel like at that time, the audience is like, there's no way he's going to become Captain America. No way. He's going to give the shield back to Bucky, and he's gonna say, no, you face your demons with the shield.
Yep.
You need it more than I do. I'm good, but that's not really how it went.
No, yeah, and even that whole thing where Bucky apologizes and says, you know what, man, yeah, I didn't see that, I didn't understand, what that meant.
Yeah. So I would say that U.S. Agent, U.S. Agent has a lot more in store.
There's a future for him for sure.
Because I think people like to hate him. People sending him death threats. That you're not doing something right until you get death threats from the Marvel fans. So.
Man. Yeah, they're definitely gonna. I'd like, I would love to see him, like pop up in the Secret Invasion show and these other stuff that they're planning. I think that's the perfect place to see him continue. I mean, I'm trying to think what movies he could really show up in.
As far as movies go, right now, that would be on, whatever storylines we're working with. Because I mean, as of right now, we don't really know where the movie's going to be going. As far as storylines go,
this one hasn't been as clear like WandaVision. Okay, we're leading into Doctor Strange 2. This one, I'm not sure what movie or where this picks up cinematically.
I don't think it is going to pick up. I don't think they need to pick up somewhere cinematically necessarily.
And that would be great, I think.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the next Captain America is going to be part of the Avengers. There's no doubt about that. Bucky will always have ties to the Avengers. We get Wakanda in it, so. I don't think this is necessarily tying to one thing. I think it's setting the tone for what could be the future, right?
Okay, so, and I like that. I think this is the perfect show to do that with, and like we said, you can do a season 2 of this, like continue the story, I think this is that story to do.
I really do like the connection. I like that little last scene that we get with Sam and Bucky kind of saying, like, kind of making the comparisons with each other, like, not comparisons, I don't think that's the right word, but they're like, we had a mutual friend.
Right,
That guy's gone. So we're just 2 guys. They're basically saying, like, we're friends.
Right.
Without saying it, we're friends.
Exactly.
And they really have gone out of their way to let us know Captain America's gone. Steve is gone.
Yeah.
So, is he dead? Is anyone going to let us know?
That's the thing. Yeah. I mean, we don't know if the Order Cap is still around, watching over everybody,
is he officially dead, though? Because I feel like... I feel like... Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. So is Cap dead? Like, is old Cap dead? Because I feel like that's a really... unfair thing for us to have to assume. They've said it multiple, like, so last time we saw Steve Rogers, he was really old.
Right.
However,
we never saw a funeral.
We don't know how old. We don't, how Super Soldier Serum affects, how, we don't understand that as an audience. And then now we skip ahead to Falcon and Winter Soldier, and they tell us he's gone. I mean, I think they said it about 4 or 5 times now that he's gone. That he's gone.
Right.
But what does that mean? Like, when is someone going to just be like, he's dead? So that we understand. Like, is he gone or is he dead? What's the real answer? Because gone could mean many things. Like, all right, he's gone. He doesn't work anymore.
I mean, I would think he's probably dead. Is my assumption.
That seems such a large event. I mean, we got a Peggy Carter funeral.
That's true. Why wouldn't
we get a Steve Rogers funeral?
You're right. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where, Russo's did say that half of the OG6 were making it past Tony, Natasha, Steve. Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where I don't know how I feel about it, because obviously they sent off that character. It's like, what if they brought Robert Downey Jr. back? And, I kind of hope that they would. I would love to see a funeral. I would love to see a funeral, if anything. And an acknowledgement that the character is passed on. But I'd be pretty surprised if he was still around or if he was going to pop back up somewhere.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I guess that's like the one mystery. Like, it's not really too big of a mystery. I mean, I think we all understand, like, by the scenes in Winter Soldier. I mean, not Winter Soldier. Jesus. In Endgame, and then like we're getting a series called The Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it's all about like the next Captain America. I guess, us as an audience, we do understand that Steve Rogers is no longer Captain America. So to us, all I'm asking,
it has been 6 months since Endgame. So
but all I'm asking is like for a little bit of closure, so we're not like playing this game of what, it's easy to hold on hope, like, if he's still around, he could still be featured, and I feel like all of us want that, right? We want as much Chris Evans as we can get, but I don't really care for like I don't know. I don't think we need old Captain America running around the MCU, and that's fine. But just let us know how his path ended. Was it celebrated? His life?
Yeah,
I mean, celebrated.
You look at, obviously, Tony Stark got the ultimate send off. All the Avengers were there, and everybody, everybody said they're good. So it's like, why not do the same I would love to see that for Steve. Have everybody gather and do a proper send off. Proper goodbye.
Yeah, I think that'd be too expensive on the budget, getting everyone
right. Oh yeah, that would never happen. But maybe cool to see like War Machine or some of these other guys pop up like they did before.
For sure. So guys, pretty solid episode. If you didn't get to watch with us, I highly recommend. If you're not going to watch it now, definitely head over and watch it when you can. This episode touches on a lot of things, including race. So get ready for some feels and being able to be in that mindset, because there isn't a lot of action. The action is great when it's happening, but this is definitely a heavily, and that's what I think the beauty is we can look at an episode that has heavy dialogue and look at it as it was one of the better episodes of everything that we've seen in the Disney Plus universe so far.
Exactly.
And that's what a good that's what a good show can do. Is get you into it without all this flashy stuff.
Right. Yeah, so, a lot of good stuff with Bucky and a lot of emotional, deep character development in this stuff. And it's cool because we would have never gotten to see these characters develop had it not been for these shows, for Disney Plus. So it's really cool to see that, especially after knowing these characters for
quite some time now.
Quite some time, yeah.
Since 2014, we've been with had these guys around and grown to love them as people up. I read You're Up Late, and I just totally screwed that one up.
Right.
But we've come to know and love them as characters, and to see their arcs come to fruition like so beautifully like they have. I'm really looking forward to talking to Jeffrey about how his approach was. So what was your approach going into this series rather than a 2-hour film? Those are the things I'm really interested in, is how the people that are so used to movies, how do you then adapt to the series aspect of it, because they're doing a great job with this, I think.
Yeah.
Any last theories on PB? I'm really surprised at people thinking it was Sharon. It was not something that immediately popped into my head, but once you said it, the clues kind of add that way, and that's surprising to me because I'm really observant, and I didn't catch that. I didn't catch that at all.
And even like tonight, I totally forgot when they showed her back in her place. How the hell did she have all those art paintings and all these stolen,
Well, that's what like Sam and Bucky comment on. They're like, well, what do you got here?
You got to be somebody in power to have that.
No pun intended. The power broker. But guys, we're definitely gonna be talking about this on the morning show. Speaking of the morning show, it'll be live at 10 a.m. We do need a little time to sleep, so we're probably going to wrap it up here. But such a great episode. Definitely tune in with us at 10 a.m. And we'll talk definitely a lot further on this on the episode that we just watched. But we've been putting in the work today, so we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for being a part of the Pop Culture Corner. Thank you all for being a part of my life. Thank you all for everything you do, and we do it for you.
And we do it for the culture.
My man.
Do it for you, and we do it for the culture.